2. Let me repeat. 8. 2. Barcelona just got dicked down. They just got destroyed. There's been a murder. And I can't believe, I'm disgusted with BT here. How dare BT Sport broadcast a murder, an execution live on television? Oh my God. Listen, I don't even know why I'm so happy about that. But for me, it was a thing of beauty to watch Barcelona, that have been one of the most dominant, impressive teams in the history of my Champions League life. Basically, Barcelona are now the new Arsenal. That is the worst single performance I have ever seen in the knockout stages of the Champions League by a big club. The very worst. Defensively poor, couldn't pass, couldn't create. And then they absolutely lost their heads to epic proportions. Nobody was working. Nobody was trying. It was just the most pitiful, unprofessional performance. Now, don't take nothing away from Bayern Munich. Quality from front to back. Absolute brilliant. They've got Sane to join this team. Gnabry, brilliant. Muller, shut the haters up. Lewandowski's a don. Goretzka. I want to know who his PT is, because the weight that boy's put on, the hench, bruv, madness. They absolutely ripped them limb. I mean, by the way, Perisic. Jose was right. We should have bought him. No, I'm only messing. He had a good game tonight, but my word, the worst performance. Let me reiterate again before we go into the callers tonight. The worst performance from a top side in a knockout game in the Champions League forever. Not since the 40s. The 40s. Bruv, the 40s. Have Barcelona conceded that amount of goals? Bruv, we were rationing food in the 40s. It's a madness, bruv. Tonight they rationed their football. Absolute. It ain't a beat down. They got dicked down. No doubt about it whatsoever. Get your views, get your opinions. And we should have Bayern Ryan coming on tonight. We've got the link for him whenever he's going to come on and get involved. Don't call the Skype lines. We're not on Skype. We're on StreamYard, please, ladies and gentlemen. A comment here says, you believe, you ate to believe it. Good old bit of comedy there. Linda says, Barca are not even broken. This is disintegrated. They have evaporated into mere fragments. They've become atoms. They are atoms. They are finished. They are done. It is over for them. It is absolutely finished. It's peak. It's brilliant. We'll get into this more in the show, but they've got to rebuild. They've got to sell Lionel Messi to do it, in my opinion. TD Shift says you've got to give credit to Alonso and Joshua Kimmich. Yes, listen, we'll get into the credit in a minute. Bayern Munich are a brilliant top team. Favorites now, in my opinion, to go on and win this. But I tell you what, they weren't half helped tonight, because that Barcelona defense was leaking like a broken fridge. Done, bruv. Finished out there. Coutinho scored 2 goals. Felipe Coutinho came on against his parent club and scored 2 goals. That tells you everything you need to know. Coutinho, by the way, not wanted Bayern Munich. Absolutely done it. Yeah, scored 2 own goals as we see it there. Listen, we're going to jump in, get some of the callers on the air, get some of the people. I think we've got Anita coming on tonight. Elite KJ is in the house, legend of the channel. Hit the like button, hit the share button. We're going to open the phone lines for everybody later. This is going to be fun. Barcelona beat down.
I'm trying to find the Barcelona backline.
We're not taking Skype calls, ladies and gentlemen. Mate, what'd you make of that, bro?
I'm trying to find the Barcelona backline. I can't see it, fam. Yeah, where are they at, fam? Oh, hey, listen, they got Thanos snapped. Like, listen, you talk about atoms. Oh, hey, Bayern had the Infinity Gauntlet on in full force and was like, yo, Bayern, hold 8, fam. Oh,
8. I mean, we're gonna. There's just, I can't even speak. I'm done
Wait,
here.
wait, wait. Before we get into it, right next to me is my business partner who helped do the intro for you as well. His name is Dre. Go follow him, guys, on Instagram at by Dre Brown. Is it 2 N's or 1 N? 1 N. 1 N at the end. He don't want to come on camera. Fun fact, he's actually a Man City fan, so they do exist, people, but they like to hide like my man is now in it. So
Invisible. Big up you, bro. That video was quality. We absolutely love it here. Cheers for doing that. Appreciate it, mate. Thank you. Yeah, tonight was mad. Like, as you say, Thanos snapped. Absolutely. It was awful in this. I don't want to take nothing away from Bayern Munich. We will get on to Bayern Munich in a bit because they were excellent tonight. But I don't know if you agree. I'm saying this and I'm saying it with my chest out. Worst performance from a top side in a knockout game ever in the Champions League.
You know why that's not a lie? You know why that's facts? Is because it was coming. This has been 3 years in the making. 3. Roma lost. Liverpool lost, and now holding 8 against Bayern Munich. It's not a surprise. Like, everyone knew that they will get panned today. Like, everyone knew this, and everyone could see it. The recruitment has been poor. Managerial recruitment, poor. Just the way that they're spending money, poor. Like, the way that Barcelona has been run over the last 5 years has been terrible. It has. And
I get that, and I do understand it. It has been run poorly, and the good thing about tonight's result is I think it undoes this so-called magic comeback by Liverpool last year, because actually we can now see that it was just a standard result. I mean, it's a standard result, putting 4 or so goals past Barcelona at this level. But it's crazy. Neeks, what did you make of that, bro? I mean, crazy, right?
That was a massacre. That was, Barcelona should be embarrassed. I'm not gonna. Bayern Munich, good, cool, brilliant team, but they should be embarrassed. To go out with such a whimper, like, for me, Bayern were always going to win this game. I've seen enough of Barca. I haven't watched them, 38 games in the league, but I've seen enough of Barca that I was confident Bayern Munich would win, because Barca are overly reliant on Lionel Messi. And at the highest level of the game, when you're playing against a team like Bayern, who are solid, I was going to say solid from back to front. They weren't too solid at the back today, but they've got cohesion from back to front. They've got brilliant players from back to front. Barca don't have that. It's really and truly, it's Messi or bust. And you can't do that against this Bayern Munich team. So I wasn't surprised they lost at all. I tweeted when the first goal went in, I said, this is going to be 2013 all over again, when they lost 7-0 over 2 legs. They didn't need 2 legs, bro. They just needed the 1, bro. Actually worse, because it's a neutral venue. There's no like home advantage or whatever it might be. But to get 8 past you, and what is, I said they went down as with a whimper, because when you're losing a game, there's a way to lose a game.
Yeah,
I understand you leave everything on the pitch, and it might be a case of, well, we're going to keep going forward because there's no point sitting back and losing 6-2. But they weren't even just keeping going forward. They were just letting attack after attack after attack. They didn't learn from playing out of the back. It was a shit show from start to finish.
Absolutely, and I think that's the element that I would be most embarrassed about if I was a Barcelona fan tonight. If there are any tuning in, please drop me a DM on Twitter. We're going to open the phone lines in about sort of 15-20 minutes for everybody. But for me, it was the lack. And look, Lionel Messi is one of the GOATs. He is one of the greatest football players of all time. But I saw him losing balls and then just walking off in other directions. And yes, they were out the game. Yes, they couldn't come back. But I don't care if it makes me a passion merchant. I want to see these men working hard, tracking back, putting an effort in. They were going to get beat, but they could have lost 5-2. They could have shut up shop. They could have defended well towards the end and just lessen the embarrassment. But 8-2, this result will be remembered and will echo for the next 100 years in football. It is the worst performance ever. A generation of people are going to remember this until the day they die. It's a madness.
This Barcelona team, as we know it, is done. It is done. Suarez is done. Griezmann never got started at Barca. Coutinho and Dembele, I mean, we saw what Coutinho did for the opposition today.
Wait, Coutinho was trying so hard not to score. Do you see those touches he took before he scored? They were terrible.
Dembele didn't come off the bench. Vidal, De Jong, Sergio Roberto, Gerard Piqué. And to be fair, Gerard Piqué didn't have a bad game. But when you concede 8, nobody in your defense has a good game. I'm not having it. This team is Alba. Everyone is way past their best. And you mentioned Messi, and Messi has been brilliant this season. The only reason they've even had a chance in La Liga and even to get to a quarterfinals at this stage is because of Messi, if we're going to be 100% honest. But the difference between when you're at the talking about the greatest players of all time, there's only small things that actually separate them. And these are the things that will stick in memory. I'm not going to say Juve would have beaten Bayern today, but you would not see Ronaldo performing in the way that Messi did today in terms of giving up. And Messi gave up today, and he does it all too often. He does it for Argentina. He's done it for Barcelona when the push comes to shove. The greatest players of all time keep going right to the end because there's just a chance. There's just a chance that your greatness, your brilliance can give your team hope. And Messi just capitulated with the rest of them. Absolutely.
Yeah, I don't think anybody can disagree with what you've said there in terms of the type of performance that was put in by Messi and the team overall. I'm going to jump on to Bayern Munich now. We're going to do that, and we're going to add in Bayern Ryan to the call. The first player that I want to speak about in this Bayern Munich team, and I think we have to, is Alphonso Davies. This boy, and we're throwing in Bayern Ryan here. No swearing, Bayern Ryan. Before I let you on, no swearing on the stream, please, bro. No swearing on the stream.
No swearing on the stream. Are you serious? What kind of PG crap are we playing here?
They kick the shows off now. YouTube have gone mad, so I can't have you do that, bro. But listen, I mean,
I'll be creative with it then.
You expected to win tonight, but there's no way you could have expected 8-2. How happy are you with your team performance, bro?
Where'd you go?
We here, baby.
We're here, baby.
Okay.
Your signal, man.
Oh, my bad. My internet sucks. But yeah, I mean, what are we talking about?
No, I said how surprised were you to win 8-2?
I don't get it.
I think he's delayed.
Oh, his connection completely gone.
He's that gassed. He's that gassed.
Call back, bro. Call back, bro. We want to get you on.
Can we talk about Alphonso Davies? Because
Greatest Canadian player ever. Don't care.
Who's the other ones in the conversation, KJ?
Scott Arfield.
I was about to throw in Owen Hargreaves because he's a weird one. Hargreaves. He played for England. He grew up, I think, in Germany, but I think he was born in Canada. Like man's Welsh.
Yeah, he don't count, man.
Alphonso Davies is the greatest Canadian since Lennox Lewis. Is he Canadian, isn't it?
He's British. My boys, leave him alone. Look, Alphonso Davies. This kid is absolutely sensational. And look, I still think Robertson is the best left back in the world right now. But give Alphonso Davies another 12 to 18 months, he will surpass him. I don't know what Brian's doing in his house, but I'm going to mute him. Jesus Christ, he sounds like he's burying a body or something.
He found Suarez's career and just put it in the bin, fam.
PTSD from this Bayern team. It's just bringing back memories about how they destroyed Chelsea as well.
Probably. Nick. So, what's your thoughts on Alphonso Davies as a player and his performance tonight?
First thing I'm going to say, because I want to end on a positive, but I have to say, in the interest of balance, we have to be balanced. We speak about Trent Alexander-Arnold, and we talk about how great he is going forward, one of the best, if not the best, fullback in the world, some people would say. But we always talk about his defensive deficiencies. So, and when it comes to Davies, I have to talk about the same, because all of Barcelona's best chances, especially in the first half, were coming down his right-hand side. The first chance they had in the game, he dove into the tackle, and they left Semedo clean through on the right-hand side, got the crossing, and Suarez nearly scored. I think Neuer cleared it in the end. And there was a few chances that Barca had down that right-hand side where he didn't know whether to go or come. He was leaving too much space in behind his position, and defensive nous wasn't there. His decision-making at the back wasn't there. But as a 19-year-old, I'm not expecting him to be perfect in all aspects of the game. But to be that good going forward at 19 years old, I'm telling you, this guy has got a great career ahead of him. I expect him within the next, you said 12 to 18 months, I'm saying 12 max, or 12 maximum, to be regarded as the best fullback in the world.
Do you know what I like about him as well? You know how Chelsea fans talk about Reece James being the hybrid and having the defensive skills of AWB and the offensive skills of Trent. Now, I know that the offensive skills of Alphonso, like I wouldn't say Alphonso Davies is as good at crossing the ball as Trent is, but Alphonso Davies is quite literally that. He is as good for me in many ways as Trent is going forward, and he is as good defensively for a young fullback as they.
He's as good as Trent going forward, but he's a different way because he will go past man.
Yeah.
He's got
he's a dribbler.
Trent, and we need to remember as well.
Just say Trent for me, he is a playmaker playing at right back. Alphonso Davies is a fullback in the true sense of the word, like the traditional role of a fullback. He's that good. He's 19 years old.
We got to remember as well, they bought him as a left winger. That's what they bought him as. And this season, due to injuries, they had to play him at left back. And the way he's developed and the way he's took to that left back role, you can only give him props. And he's gone from a short time being from a bit part winger at Bayern, who has potential to, this guy is a left back and he can become one of the best left back, if not the left back in the world.
No doubt about it. We've got Bayern Ryan back with us now.
There we go.
There we go.
Hey, what's going on? All right. Yeah, my internet sucks. So
what did you make of your team's performance tonight? Did you expect to beat them 8-2? And who are your standout players in your opinion, mate?
Okay, personally, do you want to think we were going to beat them 8-2 or like collectively as Bayern fans? Because personally, I was expecting a lot worse than that. We kind of relaxed on them there for the first, I'd say, 20 minutes of the second half. But yeah, I was expecting us to blast them all over the field strictly off of the lineup that they came out with. That was old, slow. You want to be Atletico Madrid, you look like Atletico Madrid. Because you had a bunch of old farts, because I can't curse. So you had a bunch of old farts that like to run off at the mouth in the media that got run all over with his mohawk looking rear end. So Vidal, hey buddy, no, Barcelona's not a Bundesliga team. They're not even a also ran EPL team because Spurs did better, Arsenal did better, and Chelsea did better. So guess what? You're about on the level of Atletico Bilbao, son. So sit your mohawk ass down. But anyway, going back to before I get to like my I guess thing, whatever. Alphonso Davies, we didn't move him to left back because of injuries. He was moved to left back because he never was going to play left wing. So he found out under Niko Kovac, the best way he was going to get a chance to step on the field was to move back to left back, where he had played for the MLS and he's played for Canada. I want to say collectively about 20 times in his career. So we knew he could play that. When he got back there, as far as like a Trent Alexander-Arnold is closer to a Joshua Kimmich than he is a Davies. Davies is just one of those weird hybrid type players that he's a left wing that can defend is pretty much and to Neek's point, he really can't defend well. In the first half, he was way too far up. He was way too far inside. But the thing that him and David Alaba at center back are best about is their pace alone.
Yeah.
Is their best defense. Because if you do a heavy touch, the ball's out of your possession because Davies is going to outrun you.
Yeah.
But as far as the players that surprised me, or did well, Thiago did really well. He controlled the midfield about as good as you possibly could. Lewandowski really didn't do a lot, but when he did do what he needed to do, he was pretty pivotal. Thomas Muller was probably the best player, hands down, on the field.
Big game player.
It doesn't matter if it's a big game, small game. Thomas Muller comes with his pack of lunch.
You know what? It does, though. And I was really happy for Muller because I I find he's just one of the most disrespected football players in world football. I think he scored 99 goals and 199 goals for Bayern Munich. He must have 150 plus assists as well. I don't know the exact amount. That's phenomenal. But because he's not he's one of these guys, because he's not aesthetically pleasing on the eye, these weird sort of, I call it the ability merchants out there, the failures in life, they don't rate him. They're like, oh, I know
it's because of if you play FIFA, he doesn't have that cool little Neymar flick bullshit. Yeah. So because he can't flick it over his head, and because he can't do these fancy little tricks that the little kids want to do in the front yard to impress the little girl down the street, you don't want to be Thomas Muller.
But if you want to play it,
but the thing is hold on. If you do those in the front yard, you'll get the little girl for a little while. But if you want the career that lasts 20 years, you want to be the Thomas Muller, because he does whatever needs to be done and gets it done. If it's ugly, horrible, it doesn't matter. He does what needs to be done when it needs to be done.
Thomas Muller is the epitome of Germany. Efficiency. If you were literally just put a picture of a German and their characteristics, like Thomas Muller is it, and I love that. Anita is with us now. Anita, welcome back to the show. But before we chat
hey Anita.
I knew Brian would
love you. Hey, go on, Brian, bro.
How you doing? Hey,
how you doing?
Hey, all I know is I know you wear some Barcelona stuff, and I 8-2 to be you. But I mean, I'll take you out to dinner to make you feel better. That's all I'm saying.
Jeez.
Drop the 0 and come with the hero. Just saying. Bam.
It's Bayern. You're gonna have to pay for our flights to America, though, bruv.
Let my insurance settlement get here. Y'all can all come hang out.
And I know what happened to you. Your insurance settlement's going to be massive.
I'll own the football terrace when I'm done. I'll fire Terry and put Anita in that thing all day.
Zayn versus Brian in the super chats need to happen, fam.
Yes, yeah, that'd be wicked. Before we go any further and speak to Nate, do us a favor and smash like nearly 4,000 people tuning in live right now.
Because I'm here.
It is because you're here. If you hit the like button, ladies and gentlemen, this video will trend on YouTube. So please smash it right now. Let's all laugh at Barcelona. It's kind of why we're all here. Neats, welcome back to the show. What did you make of that game?
That was so tragic. I was really uncomfortable watching it. Like, it just reminded me of remember Germany 7 but Brazil 1. Like, it just reminded me of that. And then I saw the look in Muller's eyes. Like, Muller wanted to see the 7th goal go in. I saw the look in his eyes. And then I think it was Koeman that missed the goal. And Muller was pissed. Dude, like, you were fucking 6-1 up. Like, you're pissed. Like, why were you so pissed when the goal didn't go in?
I'd have benched his ass.
I'm so done. No, but honestly, like, I came in underestimating Bayern. I didn't know who would win the match, but I thought it would be much closer. And let's be clear, Barcelona technically scored 1 goal. Like, I was so disappointed. And if we haven't spoken about him yet, we need to have a conversation about Lionel Messi, because he was absolutely ass. Like, he was bad.
Speak. We did a little bit.
Tell us about Messi. Let's go.
Do you know what? A lot of people give Pogba stick here for, never tracking back and like always dropping his shoulders whenever he loses the ball. Messi lost the ball how many times? And he never tracked back once. And then I think it was the last goal, I think Coutinho's second goal, that Messi lost the ball. And then he didn't track back. He literally stood there and he was walking back, watching the goal happen. Like, what's wrong with you? Don't get me wrong, Messi is still one of the greatest footballers of all time, but your team's losing very badly. You'd expect him to at least have a little bit more oomph to track back and like try to receive the ball, try to do something for your team. You're not the only goal scorer in the team. Like, if you allowed Suarez to have more room on the ball, to have more time on the ball as well, to not always have to track back, pick up the ball and then go forward, I'm sure it would have been, maybe 8-4. Like, come on, man. It was terrible match.
I hear that. And I put this point out earlier in the tweet. We all know that Barcelona need to rebuild now. I honestly think that they need to try their best to cash in on Messi. And I get I know they're trying to get rid of Dembele and there's talk of Fati leaving. I'm thinking Messi isn't going to get any better from now. He's only going to decline as a football player, in my opinion. And I think you cash in, you take the money, and you rebuild for the future.
Wait,
No.
sorry. Cash in on who?
No.
Messi.
Messi.
You can't cash in on Messi. What are you going to get?
No.
What are you going to cash in on Messi to get? You're going to
Let me-
get 2 horses and a cow.
Let me say. Messi's gonna keep.
You need to cash in on that little kid that came in off the what's his name? Ass Fatuti or whatever his name. Ass and booty.
He's good.
Ansu Fati.
Yeah. Cash
Let me
in on that kid. You can get 100 million for him
Let me say on Messi. Messi
from Man United.
as an individual is gonna continue to decline. I agree. But if you build a team around Messi, so you drop him back. You don't say you are the man who's going to be on the right, be up front, be on the left, drop deep. You have a specific role. It might be as a number 10, whatever it might be. You are the playmaker of the side. We get runners either side of you. You get a midfield that is not Busquets, Sergio Roberto. Midfield is actually going to run, actually going to press. Messi can still function. But in a team like this, where Messi is the only real threat, he's not going to do anything because, as you said, he's going to keep declining as a player. So, no, I don't agree with the cashing in on Messi.
Right.
I do agree with what KJ said earlier, is that for the last, since they lost Neymar, pretty much, and probably even longer, if we're going to be honest, their recruitment has been so poor that they've ended up with a team that is just way past its best in terms of each individual player. It's been terrible.
Hold on. Can I talk? Because I'm the only person on here that's actually had a team that had to go through a rebuild from old ass players. I can tell Barcelona how to do it.
I'm going
Barcelona.
baby.
You don't need to build around Messi because he ain't going to be there. You build around the kid at the front, the Fatusi or Fat Booty or whatever the hell his damn name is.
Fati Boom Boom.
You build around him. And you've got Frankie de Jong in the midfield. You build around those guys, but the thing is they haven't tried to build around them. They don't have anything, and they're not giving anybody a chance. But basically, they brought in Coutinho, didn't give him a chance. Now they're trying to sell him on a discount. You bring in Dembele at an insane price. And Terry, you can attest. Jadon Sancho is 50 times the player that Ousmane Dembele is. But hold on, but you spend those hundreds of millions on those players, and you either try to loan them out, and now you're selling them at a discount, but you're playing with old guys. And it showed today, old guys don't.
Preaching to the converted here. I completely and utterly agree with you. I get everything Neeks has said, but from my point of view, you've got to look to the future because you build this team around Messi. By the time you get it ticking, Messi's going to be past his best, and then what? And then you've got to rebuild again. I feel you
don't need to build.
Bayern Ryan, thank you very much for coming on, mate. We'll chat to you again soon, my brother. All the best. We're adding Monstar to the stream now. Yes, my bro. Go on, Elite KJ. You're going to say something, mate?
Yeah, I'll say I don't think you need to build the team around Messi. I think what you need to do now is build a system where Messi can fit into the midfield and not be the main guy. Neeks was on the right track, was saying he'd be the right guy, but I think the building it around Messi thing is not. There's no longevity in that because he will retire at some point. But you've seen it with David Silva, you've seen it with Santi Cazorla, you've seen it with these older players who are very technical. They can slot into the midfield and still do a job because their system is not about getting them to score the goals. It's about them on the ball and making things tick. Messi, one of the reasons why Argentina was dead at that World Cup, it was because they didn't allow Messi to drop into the midfield and have their strikers who are younger, fitter, and were in form to play further up the pitch. So if Barcelona, if they got him into a system where he's in the midfield, making things tick, maybe occasionally does a little shimmy, run forward towards the goal, I feel like they'll be in a better position.
Just bring in Ronaldo. Just buy Ronaldo and they're good.
Yeah, I hear that. Samuel's been on for a bit now. Samuel, what do you make of this game, bro?
You know the scoreline, yeah? It gave me flashbacks. That's the only thing I didn't like about this game. It gave me PTSD. That's the only criticism of Bayern.
No, you should feel better. Shouldn't you feel better now? Like now you've got Chelsea.
No, the 5-1 ain't so bad.
And
the
Arsenal
5-1 ain't so bad now.
Like they haven't got the biggest L when it comes to Bayern. Like you know,
Didn't they
Yeah,
concede
they
10?
do, they do, because Bayern weren't as good then as they are now. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, right now, if you're getting sparked out, it's like you're fighting peak Muhammad Ali. Like when Arsenal got beat, they were fighting Danny Williams. You know what I'm saying? Like they weren't fighting a full-on heavyweight in terms of that. Samuel, I want to ask you a question, bro. Is that the worst performance you've ever seen from a team in a knockout game in the Champions League? Like a big team. I'm not talking about some sort of no mark from a league we've never heard of. I'm talking a proper team or a proper league.
Listen, I've seen Arsenal in the round of 16 for so many years get absolutely smashed, but this is worse. This is far worse. You have the best player probably of all time in the team, and you're conceding 8. You have PK in there, who's probably, in some people's opinion, one of the best Spanish defenders of all time, and this man's holding corn. 8. I'm sorry, 8.
When you say that, it's funny, bro. Listen, I appreciate your opinions, mate. We're going to jump on some more callers, Samuel. Thank you very much, my bro. By the way, we're on 4,000, nearly 4,300 viewers. Officially the biggest ever live stream on the Football Terrace. Do me a big favor when tuning in, though. Please hit the like button, though. If you all hit this like button right now, your comments are going to go viral. So if you want to slag me off, slag Barcelona, slag Liverpool, do it. It's good for everybody. Smash that goddamn like button, please. Comment here says Messi, best player of his era. Absolutely. GOAT, never. You can't be the GOAT when you disappear every single time your team is against the ropes. Monstar, I mean, basically that is what I feel like Anita said. What do you make of those comments about Lionel Messi? Does he hit this like button right now? Your comment.
Who's that?
I'm not sure. Seems to have gone now.
Go viral.
So you want to slag me off, slag Barcelona, slag Liverpool, do it.
Who's playing the stream?
Comment here.
I'm so sorry. I wanted to just like it. I'm so sorry.
I love it. He just sat there like, I'm not going to say it's me. I'm not going to say it's I love that. I love that. Don't trust what she says to you if you're a boyfriend. Do you know what I mean? That's a good lie. Is it disappointing to see Messi basically give up?
Yeah, I'm just gonna say, and I said this about Argentina years ago, and I'm saying this about Barcelona now. It's time for them to move on because it's the game. The way they play is too Messi centric, too reliant on Messi. It's time to build a team where, you know, it's the same thing with Chelsea, how Chelsea were Hazard centric. It's time to get that team where everyone, you know, even if they're not a superstars, everyone's playing fluid football, everyone's playing together. It's not about one player. Do you know what I mean? That's what's affecting Barcelona. It's like he runs the club. You know, he decides what managers go. He decides what board members, you know, they need and blah, blah. It's time to let him go, man. Sounds harsh, but he's the main celebrity.
Where would Leo Messi go? Like, what club can
Man City?
But Messi's not the problem. So you're saying
he kind of is. He kind of is.
See, I think the issue they sold.
Look at his smiling. He's like, look at this.
This is the Thiago stand. Thiago
things to say still, but I'll let you speak first.
This is the Thiago stand. But Messi's not the problem in the sense that when they sold Neymar, they've been so desperate to try and replace Neymar that they forgot about the rest of the team. So they sold Neymar. Also sold it, they lost him. They didn't want to get rid of him. They bought in Dembele. They bought in Coutinho. They bought in Griezmann. 2 out of those 3 players don't suit the style of Barcelona. Dembele, I think, does, but he just ain't been good enough. They've been so focused on replacing Neymar that they've lost control of everything from back to, I'll say, to front, because the fact that you've still got Suarez, who barely scores Champions League goals, and I think he's got about 3 in the last 3 years in the Champions League, or at least in the knockout rounds. That I think that's what the biggest issue is. Getting rid of Messi isn't going to solve their problems. It's not the same way you get rid of Hazard, you get 100 million for him, and then you bring in a young manager and say, all right, let's build a team. Who's going to spend 150 million on Messi? And is Messi going to leave Barcelona?
Teams will spend 100 because it's not just about footballing that Messi brings. It's the fact he brings PR to your club. He brings, you know, sales of shirts and things like that. So there are teams that will spend money on Messi. Do you know what I mean? And not just that. I just feel like with you know, players not performing like Griezmann and all these guys because number one, they're not being played in their rightful position. You know, in all the to kind of accommodate Messi, if you ask me. Do you know what I mean? I feel like it's time for them to move on. The same way they moved on with Ronaldinho. It was starting to look a bit flaky. Guardiola was quick to get rid of him, bring in Messi.
Yeah, but that's easy.
He was quick to get rid of Deco, bring in Busquets, things like that.
Yeah, but that's easy to do when you have the players already coming through to replace them.
They do though. They do.
Man. There's quality in that team. What you can't say about that Barcelona team, there is quality there. Like
there is quality.
And so Fati is an example of that. He is quality. De Jong is a quality football player. They've got to get their ducks in their ducks in a row. Aaron, I'd love to know what your thoughts on this are, mate. Like, obviously you got the German connection as well with Bayern Munich slapping Barca 8-2. Give us your views, mate.
This is why I have such high regards for Manchester United, because these are the levels we need to get back to. I've always had I've never agreed with this mediocrity that we've developed over the years. Oh no, it's fine. Oh, we lost, but no, it's okay. We'll be fine. We'll be all right. We'll be okay. And I'm not trying to get at this particular player, but these are the levels we're trying to get to. Yeah, like to put things into perspective. Alphonso Davies is 19 years of age and doing this kind of madness in the Champions League, which is the best and highest European football level in the world. I don't think I need to remind you what Mitchell's done since he came. Like, he's got something like 6 assists in 6 years in the Premier League and 1 goal. Like, it's not good enough. And if you look at board level, the recruitment, the managers, the people at board level, like everything at Bayern Munich is just perfect in it. And I honestly think there are a thing or two that we can learn from Bayern Munich in terms of how they run the club, the way they do the transfers, contract extensions, even with the whole Thiago situation now. Like, you'd think, he's probably going to stay, but he might leave. Do you see what I mean? The way they just handle things and the way they handle transfers and rumors and everything, like, it's just, I don't know. It might be,
I wouldn't say they're perfect, because earlier on in the season they were looking like a joke of a club, if you guys remember.
No, because their manager, Kovac is a bit of an idealist. Like, he was lining up the best players, not the best team.
Aaron, what I'd say to your point, I hear what you're saying about the fullback situation. What I would say about Bayern Munich, I think they're a brilliantly run club, but they've won 2 Champions Leagues in 21 years, as an example, right? And they've been run well that whole time. What they've got in Alphonso Davies, Man United have in Mason Greenwood, in my opinion. I get your point that I want fullbacks as good as that.
Yeah.
But I want to improve the fullback. And yes, I love AWB, and I'd love someone that could go forward and attack in that same way. For me, it isn't as all these top clubs in Europe, including Barca, that was slapped by 8 goals today. They've got some talented youngsters at their squad. For me, it's more what you said. The point you, Paul, on that I think is perfect, though, is how a football club is run, having a philosophy on and off the pitch. The way that Bayern Munich under-8s play will be the same as how the first team play. The female team will play football in the same manner. They'll train in the same way. There is cohesion from front to back, and that's about the club being run correctly. And for me, I'm starting to see that at Man United. We're a year or so into it, though, and it's going to take 3 or 4 years to catch back up. It's why Liverpool are where they are now, because they created something off the pitch that transcends onto it. And the clubs that are chopping and changing up and down, Chelsea got away with it for years, where they could just switch from one manager to another because they had a 5-6 year period where they had so much more money than anybody else. If you look at Chelsea on a timeline, since other clubs started having mega money and the Premier League's TV revenue increased, Chelsea haven't been as successful with the major trophies because they haven't been able to dominate the transfer market. And it's now I look at Chelsea and it looks like they're trying to build something that has sustainability over a period of time. And that's what it's about. And that element of Bayern Munich is perfect.
This is why this is why I'm always talking about the transfer window. This one, allow it. What I'm trying to say is, this is why I've always been tweeting about the transfer window, and I really hope that we take this transfer window serious and don't just get satisfied with getting Sancho when maybe one extra player and think that will be enough to challenge for top 4, or try and at least close the gap with Liverpool and Man City. And you look at the likes of Chelsea as well. Like, they've already got Werner. They've got Ziyech. They're going to get Havertz over the line. Like, we need to look at these teams, and I'm not saying we should go out there and just spend recklessly, but what I'm trying to say is we need to look at the teams around us and think, okay, we need to try and do the same, because at the moment, obviously, we're still in the Europa League. If we win it, we're going to be in pot one. If we crash out of the Europa League, we're going to be one of the lower pots, which means we could be in the group in the Champions League with a Bayern Munich, with a Real Madrid, with a Barcelona. So I'm looking at this and going, the recruitment is good.
I agree with everything you're saying, Aaron. Like I do. Like I think you're saying that. I think the one thing about you saying about structure, especially comparing it to someone like a Bayern, like Bayern's structure is years deep.
Yeah.
Like it's very deep, and United had a deep structure through Fergie, and then it's collapsed, and now we need to build it back up again, and it's gonna take time. And I'm not. This is not me backing Woodward and thinking he's the guy, because I don't like Woodward is Woodward, isn't it? But like I think as United fans, as much as we want to get there as soon as possible, we need to also realize that to get that structure back and to get to that place where we'll run properly as a club, it would take a bit more time than we would like. That's all I'm going to say. I agree with everything you're saying.
I remember, and I think you look at Bayern Munich as an example from the early 2000s through till sort of the sort of 2010 and beyond. They had like a 7-8 year period where, yes, they were still winning titles at home, because it's not that difficult to do it in Germany when you're Bayern Munich. But on a European level, I always felt they were pretty. Well, I remember listening to I didn't watch the football. They were pretty standard. And I think it goes through cycles. You know, I was looking at some statistics earlier. If you look at the last 20 years in Champions League football, I think there's been 10, 11 finalists from Spain, 10, 11 finalists from England, only about 3 or 4 from Germany. So what we do over here is very, very good. I just think that we're in a really good period as English sides. We're getting a lot of teams to the latter stages. I've got a little feeling. Who are Bayern going to have in the other semi? Who is their possible semi-final?
Man City or Leon.
Leon.
Man City.
I know
Man City.
You know what?
It's going to be a great. I'd love it to be City. It'll be a great semi-final, and City have got that advantage because there's no fans, and they never have any fans there. So it's.
Sorry, I was going to say about Bayern. Even though their structure, you guys are all talking about their structure. The way that they can operate, you can't do that, because in their league they are like a monopoly in there. So if Man United want Cantwell, for example, from Norwich, right? You can't just go and buy Cantwell for pennies, whereas Bayern can do that. So when you look at their team, it is full of players from other German teams who have come over on free, like Lewandowski.
He was free
from Borussia Dortmund. The Goretzka, like 25 million from.
Just got Nubel from Schalke.
Kimmich was from Leipzig.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Havertz from Stuttgart, like literally their whole team.
Like what they do, it's like like Bayern Munich are like the club version of Germany, and sort of it's like all the other clubs feed into them, and it's like go represent us in Europe. Off you go. Do you know what I mean? They love doing that. The Germans going around Europe and dominating.
And you know what? This game as well. Yeah, looking at someone like a Thiago, who's a player I absolutely love.
We know, Aaron. We know.
If he goes to Liverpool, I will literally cry, because that guy is levels, man, and we've seen it again today, man. He's literally just having fun, bro. Like against one of the most famous and renowned teams in Europe, like,
and his former team as well.
His former team is toying with them, man. It's ridiculous. Like honestly, if he goes to Liverpool, oh come on, man.
Well, listen, if he comes to the Premier League, he will be top 3 midfielders in the Premier League, hands down.
He'll be number 1.
Hang on.
Terry's gonna say the video he saw earlier.
Hang on. 2 things. One, did you see the ESPN guy that I can't remember his name? Is it Blasphemy.
Wait. What did he say?
He basically said it when he joins Liverpool, he'll get the occasional start, but it'll mainly be FA Cup, League Cup, and some sub appearances.
That's what he said.
Oh, and you see some of these men, yeah?
Sorry, this is the problem. This is the problem.
They're getting paid.
These embarrassed British fans, because they are in the mainstream media, and then the rest of the world see this and think, oh, these Brits don't know anything. I'm not going to listen to them. You've got Joe Barton and you've got Jamie O'Hara? I think.
No. Jamie was backing it.
Okay, there was Joey Barton and there was Jason Cundy over the last 2 nights, absolutely laying into Neymar. And I'm like, do you even watch football?
He said was better than Neymar, and I was like,
you know what's crazy about it? I was on Neymar the other night in the sense of I felt he was having a very average game until he produced. I'm talking about one night. And then I start seeing people like, oh yeah, he's overrated though, isn't he? I'm like, what do you mean?